Assalamu alaikum, dear friends. Welcome back to Twinkle Twinkle Reading Stars. This is part 2 of The Wrong Kind of Bark. If you haven't watched part 1, leave the link down below. Written by Julia Donaldson, illustrated by Gary Parsons. This is Monica. She's going to help us read the story today. The Wrong Kind of Bark. The teacher came into the classroom the next day. There were a lot of children around Finley's table. Miss! Please, miss, said Ruth Goodchild. Finley's got a dog. That's not what you said, miss, is it? Finley had a small puppy in his arms. Finley, you can't bring pets to school, said the teacher. But I thought you said... But I thought you said to bring in a bark, miss, said Finley. The puppy barked loudly. That's the wrong kind of bark, said the teacher. She phoned Finley's home to see if his mom or dad would come for the puppy, but no one was in. The teacher went back to the classroom. The puppy was standing on the nature table. He was barking at the builders. The jar of flowers was on its side. Most of the nuts were on the floor. Take him off the table, Finley, said the teacher. She cleared up the mess. The puppy went on and on, barking at the builders. Finley put his anorak under the nature table. What are you doing now, Finley? Asked the teacher. I'm making a bed for the puppy, said Finley. The puppy lay down on the anorak. He stopped barking. Now it's time to do the play for the rest of the school, said the teacher. The children put on their masks. Sally Wong put on her daisy mask. It's hot in here. David Simmons put on his sun mask. Finley put on his tomato mask. How do I do this? How do I tie this? The puppy started to bark again. He barked and barked at the tomato mask. Shh! Oh, Finley! He doesn't like the tomato mask, said Finley. He thinks it's attacking me. Take the mask off, said the teacher. You can put it on when we're down in the hall. Finley took off the tomato mask. Stop it! The puppy growled. He grabbed the mask in his mouth and tore it up. The teacher was very cross. I'll have to tie him up, she said. She found some string. She tied one end of the puppy one end of it to the puppy's collar. Then she tied the other end round the leg of Finley's table. Finley had to make a new tomato mask. There wasn't time for the paint to dry. The teacher put the paint pot up on a shelf. Then they went down to the hall to act the rest of the play of the school. That will have to do. The puppy was left alone in the classroom. The builders were banging on the roof. The puppy barked at them. The builders went on banging. The shelves on the wall started to shake. They shook and shook. The pot of red paint jumped on the shelf. It fell on its side. The red paint started to run out of it. Tomato trouble. Down in the hall, the children were doing their play. The children were being flowers and fruit, were curled up on the stage. Ruth Goodchild was sitting in a chair with tinsel tied on it. It was her throne. Pitter-patter raindrops, she said. She waved her wand. The children, being raindrops, ran onto the stage. They shook the ribbons on their arms. They were supposed to be watering the flowers and fruit. I'm a star. David Simmons came onto the stage in his sun mask. He stood stiffly over the plants. From far off came a barking sound. "Grow, plants, grow," said Ruth. Did you hear that? The children, being flowers and fruits, began to uncurl. Finley uncurled. The red paint from his tomato mask dripped down his t-shirt. Grow, plants, grow. The barking grew louder and louder. "Grow taller," said Ruth. The flowers and fruit grew. Most of them grew slowly, but the tomatoes shot up. It was still dripping red paint. The tomato jumped off the stage. It ran through the hall and up the stairs. Ruth Goodchild looked cross. "I said grow, not go." The right kind of bark. The teacher went out of the hall. Quietly, she followed the tomato up the stairs. Finley went into the classroom. The teacher followed him. "What's going on?" Woof! Woof, woof! The puppy had stopped barking at the builders. He was barking at the fish tank. He was barking and barking and barking. Woof! 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 On the shelf, the pot of red paint lay on its side. Red paint was running out of it. A few drops had dripped into the fish tank. Help! Quick, said the teacher. Bring me a jam jar of water, Finley. She took the paint pot off the shelf and put it on her table. There was a net next to the fish tank. The teacher fished the big. Finley and the puppy watched. The puppy had stopped barking. The teacher tried to fish out the little fish, but it was a very fast swimmer. It kept swimming away. Yes, said Finley. The little fish was swimming under the bridge. The teacher held the net on the other side of the bridge, and the little fish swam into it. He did it! The teacher took the fish into the classroom next door. They had a fish tank too. She put the fish in it. Class 3's fish. Now we'll have to change the water in our tank, she said. We can't have the fish. Swallowing red paint. Later on, the other children came back to the classroom. Ruth Goodchild still looked cross. I'm sorry I missed the end of the play, said the teacher. But in a way, I'm glad. If all the paint had gone into the water, the fish could be dead. What a good thing that Finley's puppy warned us. That's my boy. Finley cuddled his puppy. Perhaps it was the right kind of bark after all, he said. But, Miss... Okay, guys, so that's the end of the story. I hope you guys enjoyed this really funny and silly story. I know I really liked it. It seemed like Finley was heading for big trouble, but in the end, it was the right kind of bark after all. So, guys, okay, guys, so that's the end of the story. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. For now, I hope to see you guys in a new and fun video of story reading. Goodbye, my friendly reading stars. Laugh face and goodbye.